What y'all gonna say if I'm not here?
Hey, everybody, welcome to the latest edition of You Get What You Get. I'm Ricky Hampton with my great friends, Tree McDougal and Tim Turner, coming to you on a Tuesday evening. Hope everybody's doing great. I know Tree McDougal is. She just can't stop smiling, Tim. She's she, her team won last night. Congratulations to
Thank
the
you.
Boston
Yes.
Celtics.
Yes.
Tree, they took care of business last night, and you earned that smile, my sister.
It was a great game as opposed to game
It
4.
was not a great game. It was a blowout.
It was amazing. I loved it so much. And beyond them just winning, seeing the emotion at the end for me, uh, it was so great to see Tatum's son kind of, patting him while he was so emotional. It was good. It was a good night. It was a good night. Tim?
Yes, it was a good night for the Celtics. I really have to hand it to it. Their superstars showed up, and the ones on the other team did not. They only played Boston. Like I said, it was a gentleman's sweep. Boston let them get blown out on Saturday. They really didn't care. They wanted to win at home. You know that. Oh my goodness,
What?
Willie Mays has passed.
Oh,
Oh,
my
man.
goodness.
You know they were going to Birmingham and they're going to do the game on
Oh,
Thursday.
my goodness.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it just popped up on my screen.
Mm.
One of the icons of sport, not just baseball, guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Sport. Willie Mays. I'm just so sad to hear that news.
He's 93 years old. And he wasn't gonna stick around for forever, but you never want to hear that. It's like, especially this week, because it was really
Yeah.
designed around the Negro Leagues and Willie Mays playing in Rickwood Stadium there in Birmingham. And 2 days before they had that game, he passes away. So wow.
And then,
Well,
right.
Tree, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You're
Go ahead.
connected tonight with the Negro Leagues.
I did. It was a really great evening here in Savannah with, it's part of the Juneteenth. Crazy Lake Patterson, who played with the Negro Leagues, and someone asked him tonight if he had played with Willie Mays, and he said no, he was older, but he really took us through his journey and also the racism that he experienced along the way. So it was really good evening to hear about that, and Mr. Patterson talked about going to Birmingham Thursday, and he was looking forward to that for sure. So
Wow.
yeah.
This is from the San Francisco Giants Twitter page, X page. It is with great sadness that we announce that the San Francisco Giants legend and Hall of Famer Willie Mays passed away peacefully this afternoon at age 93.
Hmm.
Wow. And the reports are beginning to come in. Man, and as a kid, when you got to see, when I was growing up, I'm a little older, just celebrated my 67th birthday. We didn't have baseball on TV every night. You had to search for games on the radio, which I did, out of St. Louis, later
Mhm.
out of Atlanta. And when you got a big league game on TV, and I grew up in Nashville, so we got a lot of Braves games, which made me a Braves fan. Man, when you got a chance to see Willie Mays and Willie McCovey and Juan Marshall, those guys from the Giants, it was a special thing because number one, they were on the West Coast, so you didn't get to see a lot of them anyway, and when you did, that was a big deal. And he was just he was magical, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm quite sure tonight, it's a pall has been cast over baseball throughout everywhere after this. My first Braves baseball game was the Braves and the Giants. And it was a Sunday afternoon in Atlanta, Fulton County Stadium. And Hank Aaron was playing first base in that day. And Willie Mays got a walk or something. And then you just see this picture right there at first base of Aaron and Mays side by side. And it's just like, you just get chilled seeing those two great guys there, great heroes. And it just
See, today you would have pulled out your
pulled out the cell phone and been clicking away. Not even being able to absorb the moment. People spend so much time on their phones clicking, but just to take that photo, that was just priceless. So yeah, that was my first ever Braves game to see him play in Hank. And so it's pretty sad. I'm quite sure baseball is rippling throughout baseball, and just for a myriad of reasons. I think back to the story where people were talking about the curse, the Red Sox curse, the Red Sox curse. They were cursed because they could never win the World Series until later, like in the past 20 years. But it isn't so much of a curse when you willfully do stuff. They had an owner, Tom Yawkey, who was a virulent racist. Willie Mays tried out for the Boston Red Sox, and Yawkey would not sign him.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not a curse when you willfully allow yourself to start to be losers. So I really have never had any love for the Red Sox. Thinking back to that story where they were so racist they wouldn't sign one of the greatest players in the history of the game.
Yeah, and fortunately, the Giants did. And we have this great player. He was the definition of a 5-2 guy. Right?
Absolutely. Hit, run, throw, hit for power, play defense.
There you go.
I'm thinking that's what the five tools are. He did it all. And what's the over under on how many times they're going to show that catch in center field where he makes it over his shoulder?
It's Cleveland, yeah.
Yes. How many times are they going to show that thing tonight? Because he's had his career in and of itself was more than just that the one catch. He was just outstanding. It's just a shame because you say, yeah, you're older. I'm a little bit younger than you are. So that one game against the Braves, and then you see I see him not too long after that get traded to the New York Mets, and he had nowhere near the skill set that he had when he was younger. And that's the memory you'll have of him floundering out there in the outfield for the Mets as opposed to the graceful guy he was when he was playing for the Giants out of San Francisco for those many years. So it's good that people see tape of Mr. Mays and to see him doing that. I think it's outstanding.
Yeah. I don't have those memories like you guys have, so it's really great to hear. How old were you, Tim? Do you remember what you were? How old you were?
I had to be like 8 or 9.
Mm-hmm.
I know I wasn't driving, so.
You could have been. If you lived on a farm, you would have been driving.
That's true. I lived on a farm, but yeah, I just remember that. That was it didn't get any better than that to watch them the Braves back in the day. Even when they were garbage, they were still your team. You root for all the Atlanta teams, and when you're with them, lose or lose, you're with them because they didn't win much.
Yeah.
And, they played a lot of teams, but that's back in the day when Major League Baseball didn't really care about geography, because the Braves and the Cincinnati Reds were the National League West with the Padres, Dodgers, and Giants. So Atlanta was making 2 and 3 trips to the West Coast a year There were a lot of late night games for the Braves and the Reds because they were stuck in the National League West. Granted, the Reds won it every year, but it was just really weird to see the balls out of Candlestick. You got to know that park a lot better than you did some of the ballparks on the East Coast.
And as a sports writer, having the opportunity to go out there and see that place, I'm like, wow, this is. When I went in there, the first thing I thought about, this is where Willie Mays played. This is where he roamed the outfield. And again, that great Giants team with Willie McCovey, Stretch McCovey at first base, the big left-hander. I think he was from the Birmingham area. Also.
Yeah, he was from Alabama. Yeah,
and Juan Marichal, the great rivalry they had with the Dodgers. Hey, check this out. Hall of Famer, of course, 2-time MVP, 24-time All-Star, 12-time Golden Globe, 2-time All-Star MVP, Rookie of the Year, World Series MVP, a batting title, finished with 660 homers, 301 batting average, 339 stolen bases, and he missed the whole year.
Wow.
He broke his leg or something, didn't he?
No, he was military.
Okay.
He was in the Army. So 660, put another 40 on that.
Wow.
That's 700 right there.
That's 700. He's been right there with Hank.
Yeah. Did you rattle off? As you were rattling off, did you mention the Major League batting titles that he won? Did you mention that?
I think he only won one batting title.
Yeah, he won in 1954.
He did it all. I mean, when you could hit for average and power and do all of those things, my goodness.
And I see he was voted National League MVP in 1954 and 1965. So,
yeah, you're right, Tree. He did win a batting title. And they didn't have the Silver Slugger back then. He probably won that every year. The guy was just phenomenal, and from all accounts, just a wonderful human being to top that off. So the passing of baseball great Willie Mays. That's shocking news, Tim. I'm sorry. I'm kind of lost for words. Yeah, we got you on mute, Tim.
Something's going on with this computer. But I was like, when I saw it pop up on the phone, that's why I said, whoa, because that's like the biggest news in sports probably this year. It's trumped probably everything else. The Celtics got to celebrate maybe for a day. They've been knocked off the sports pages now by this for sure. This is major. Yeah. And it came around at a time where baseball was king in the Black community in the 50s and 60s, with Jack Robinson integrating the game in 47 and all these great players coming on. And think about it, he passes a couple of weeks after the MLB finally accepts the new drug. So I'm glad he got to see that. And they got the game at Brickwood. And that game it was already going to be big. It's going to be gigantic now. Right. Absolutely it is. Yeah. It's dumb.
And I'm sorry, Tim, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I just said it was just dumbfounded. That's all. It's just
But man, you can still make the argument his game stands up to anybody's at any time. For sure.
And people do, because like I said, I didn't see Mays play a whole lot. And for my money, I would argue that Andrew Jones was the greatest center fielder I ever saw play. Or ever saw. And then, I have friends, an old friend used to work with me at CNN, Don Sperling. He now works for the New York Giants. And he's a New Yorker through and through. And he's a Mays fan. And when I said that, he chimed in and was like, what was I smoking, how insane I am. And I've seen tonight on his Facebook page, it's already said, pound for pound, the greatest baseball player ever. Fight me. Pretty much, that's how people feel about him. So it's like,
and you know, and in those debates, I mean, I a lot of times I don't like them because you're gonna knock somebody to. You can't knock Willie Mays. The record speaks for itself. Andrew Jones, players of those ilk. You know, you always hear it in basketball now. Yeah, I'll take Michael Jordan. I'll take LeBron. I'll take any of those so-called GOATs on my team.
right.
And I asked Ray Scott about it. I said, could Wilt Chamberlain play today? When he said, no, Wilt's 60 years old or whatever at the time. Of course he couldn't play today. But when he was 30 years old, he could have played. So, you know, everybody has their place. And Willie Mays, if I got around Mount Rushmore, he's definitely on there for me.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's hard to see your legends pass away, and you have this history of, you know, watching them play if you did, or following their career, you know, marveling at their stats. And so, you know, I don't think you ever prepare because they're so, you know, larger than life giants that when they do pass away, it's really kind of hard. It's sad because it's the end of that particular era of how you knew them.
True.
The Say Hey Kid. And there's not even a lot of video of Willie Mays.
No.
That you got the catch. Oh, you got the catch in Cleveland.
Right.
But other than that, there's not very much of
You'll see home runs and stuff, but you know, then you know but you won't see much more than that. You'll see the catch.
Yeah,
and that's outstanding that you see that. But you know, when your heroes die, you know, it stuns you. Sometimes some people say, well, you know, people die. You'll hear that, but you know, you just have to get over that and get past that.
Yeah, it was definitely a symbol of our youth. Thank you, Willie, for all your contributions to our game and this society that we live in. And I will definitely be tuned in for that game at Rickwood this week. But Trent, your Celtics, I mean, they're going to party in Boston. I mean, it was Tim, I think, was that Tim or you that sent that graphic today about those draft picks? The picks of Brown and Tatum.
I think that was Tim.
I sent that to y'all. Yeah, man, the Lakers and who was it? The Bucks and the Lakers, both years.
Sixers. It was Sixers.
The Sixers and the Lakers, both years.
Yeah.
Picking the wrong dudes.
Yeah. And that's good drafting, man. That's how you win championships.
Which is why the front office people on both of the Sixers and Lakers should be fired right now.
Hey, did you guys see the thing where Jaylen Brown posted on his X page about
what his teacher said?
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't see that because I don't look at X. But go on.
Yeah.
What was it?
She said, apparently when he was in middle school or grade school, his teacher told him, I'll be coming to visit you in some jail or prison one day.
Yeah, I'll see you in jail in 5 years or something like that.
That's a terrible thing to say to a kid. I mean, I've heard other people say that teachers said negative things about them. And I don't understand why you would tell a child that. But I didn't realize he was from Marietta, from the Metro.
Oh, they've been making all kinds of stuff. I thought he was from Gwinnett County, but that was Lemon Pepper Lou Williams. But yeah, this guy.
Jaylen Brown is from, I did not know that.
From Atlanta. Yeah, from Marietta. And they went to his high school today. They showed him a signed Celtic jersey in the trophy case and all what he did there. But then I thought he went straight to the NBA, which I was wrong. He played a year at Cal. Yeah. He was also like on the chess team at Cal. And
he is brilliant.
He did a bunch of stuff. The guy is just a renaissance. Yeah, absolutely.
And the funny thing, I am not a Celtics fan at all, but I like the guys they had on this team. I like and admire Drew Holiday.
He's a
winner. Yeah. Tatum, just great guy. I mean, just a likable guy. And Jaylen Brown. And the coach, Mazzulla. Think about how he was getting ripped for them blowing the series. Yeah, I mean, hey, he stuck with it. And I heard him say something today that my son, Ricky Jr. sent me, who coaches college basketball. He said to win, you got to have a team with leaders who have an intolerance for losing. And that's what our leaders had on this team. And how about, you talk about a pro, how about Al Horford?
Yes.
I mean, I know Tim.
Yeah, Tim been trashing him, and I'm like, leave him alone.
I did not trash him. I just said that my thing was like he was ancient and he
2,000 years old or something.
And they bore it out. They said he was the guy he had like 187 games or something. He was like the oldest dude ever to win an NBA championship, between whatever the deal is or whatever the stat was. So everybody was really happy for him. And, that's I saw what Jason Tatum said. Al Horford is my favorite teammate of all time.
Wow.
He made mention of this, just talking about what a great guy is, what a presence he is in the locker room, how he steadies them. You can go up and down their roster. There isn't a bad seed in there. And then, to add insult to injury, you think the kid's only going to do it one time like he did Saturday night, but that Pritchard guy comes up there at half court in this game and drains it. And I watched that thing over and over and over this morning. It's just, the kid was fearless. It was good that they didn't hold a clock. You know how people do at home where they hold a button on you before the red light goes in. I mean, it was right there. It was within seconds of it. Of the rim glowing red.
It just went boom right in. That's how I was like, what?
Yeah, if you're Fabric, she's going, it's over. Yeah.
Is this Horford's 17th season?
Yeah, 17th season.
And he was a good player in Atlanta. He was steady.
He was great in Atlanta, but they didn't want to pay him. So that's when he left and left Atlanta, signed with the Celtics originally. And then he left there, and then went to Philly for a taste, and then came back to Boston. So I'm thrilled for the guy. I mean, I'm happy that he won because he's a good guy, and they showed his dad in there, Tito Horford, who was nowhere near the player he was, but he was there, and it had to be a great moment for him. So Al's won. He won back-to-back college championships in Florida. Now he's an NBA champion. So those type of things. Drew Holiday is like he's the only guy I think that has won championships in his first year with two teams. Milwaukee.
Hey, did you catch they showed a woman and some kids, and they said there's Drew Holiday's wife, and then they came back and said we have to apologize, that was not his wife. I was just like,
I didn't see that.
The wife called in and said, "That's not me.
That's not me." Somebody called them because they were quick to come back and correct themselves. But I was like, I don't even know how they. Yeah, I don't know.
How do you mix that up? It's like we didn't see a lady that whatever.
And you know who else played well for them throughout the playoffs? Derek White. When they traded for him and got him from
his grill.
Yeah, got chipped his tooth, right?
Yes.
But when they traded for him last year, got him from Boston, I just thought, okay, just another body you could throw out there for 10 or 15 minutes a game. He ends up starting, becoming an all-defensive player. I mean, he might have been second team.
He was outstanding. But I didn't know where he'd come from. I was reading a story about him talking about Pop. I think he came from San Antonio, and how he just revered Greg Popovich. And the talking about the love that he had for Pop, and I didn't know he played there. He's like Pop cared about him as a person and helped him grow as a player, and he credits Popovich with becoming the player that he is now because of what he got in San Antonio.
And he had one scholarship offer. He was not highly recruited at all. coming out of high school, and now he's about to make him some real money.
Well, that's what happens. Yep. Then you have to go and give credit to Brad Stevens, the GM, who former coach who stepped aside as GM, and you wonder what the coach down in Houston, if what he's thinking, that maybe they're winning with my players type thing. If he has that feel about things, because he was.
Would you?
No, I wouldn't.
Udoka?
Because they're not playing the same type of ball. They don't play the same type of ball that they played when he was a coach. I think Missoula has come in and changed it around a lot, and I think this is he's the second youngest coach to win an NBA title at 35 years old. There was a guy who won it when he was 34, and I will both give you guys one guess as to who it was.
Bill Russell.
Bill Russell. He was a player coach for the Celtics.
Yes.
He won at 34. So there's a lot of numbers that are coming out of this thing for the Celtics. The 18th title, which they just broke a tie with the Lakers. I think that's what it.
Yeah, they did.
Broke a tie with the
There
Lakers.
you go. Here's your shot, Tim.
Boom.
I love the reaction right here.
The one with Tatum nearly, he nearly got concussed in the chest when Tatum's chest bumped. Watch it again when Tatum comes after him. I'm like,
and even after that, I think he might even punched him in the chest.
But you see how many people saw that thing and they just got, as soon as it leaves their hands, people look at everybody's
the reactions. First I didn't. It's like I didn't think it was going in, and then when it did, it was like, wow.
Wow.
They just made so many great plays. They were outstanding along the way.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what, guys? And look, the guy's highly productive and took his team to the finals. But I until Luka gets some more help, it's going to be hard for him to get over the hump because he has to take too many shots and he has to take too many tough shots.
I don't know if he has to or because he's just a ball hog. Because
maybe
the dude always had the ball in his hands, and then when he got in trouble, he was looking for his teammates. Very rarely did he make a pass that wasn't forced because they switched up on him. They put everybody on him but the towel boy, because every time down the floor he had a different body on him.
They made him work, man. That was a great defensive plan that they put on him. He is no doubt, he is indeed a talented player.
Yes.
But his style of play is not one of my favorites for sure.
Well, it reminds me of the Hawks back in the day when they had Joe Johnson. They used to call it ISO Joe.
ISO Joe.
They just get the ball. He dribbled the ball out. Wait till like James Harden does. Dribble the ball out. So it's like 8 seconds on the clock, and then try to find one of the 4 other teammates and throw the ball to it. But Joe was a ball hog, so that's the way that offense worked. And Dallas has worked that way even with Kyrie out there because he was cold all night. And if those guys aren't hitting threes, they're doomed.
But Joe was getting that ball basically in the low post area, mid post,
and he was hitting them.
Yeah, and he was very. And
don't you think a lot of people rely on the threes too much?
There are teams that live and die with it. Like Golden State lives and dies with the 3. Denver lives and dies with the 3. And so does Dallas. I mean, there are a lot of more so the Western teams, I think, than the Eastern teams. They get up there and jack up a million of them. And that's when I look at box scores, I look at who takes a lot of them. And I'll see where one player on Dallas or Golden State, like Steph Curry, will take more threes than maybe 3 other teams on the East combined.
Yeah, right. Even the game Dallas won the other night, Luka was 0 of 8 from 3-pointer.
Right.
I mean,
right.
They just. But I think you're right, Tree. I think they wanted to get back home and win that thing, which they did. So I could tolerate this Celtic team. But now the NBA is behind us. Well, not really. We got the draft coming up in a couple of weeks. The draft that nobody wants anybody. The Hawks got the number 1 pick in the draft, and that's coming up in a little less than 2 weeks. So we'll dig in a little bit on that. But Tim, there will be good players to come out of this draft.
There always are good. There are good players, but will the Hawks pick them? That's the thing. There are lots of good players.
Who should they be? Who should they pick? Who should
this
be
kid named I think it's SARS from France. He's the one. But then understand when I heard today on the radio, and I'm like, oh, if this is another one of these brain cramps that the Hawks have, they're enamored with some kid out of UConn who they think is like, yes, they think he's the second coming. Like this kid is ready to play now, as opposed to SAR and there's two French guys who they say have a really high ceiling, which they have a lot of room to grow, where they're saying this kid is ready now. I would prefer people who have growth as opposed to a kid who pretty much is polished any day now, because I'm looking at the long term. I don't think Trey's going to be there forever. I think they got to start building the team around somebody else.
Well, here I'll read the top 5 in this latest mock draft by CBS Sports, and they have the Hawks taking Zachary Richard, 6'9", forward out of France.
That's the other guy.
With Washington going with Alex Sarr, 7'1" center out of France, and Reed Shepherd from Kentucky going to the Rockets, 6'3" guard. Are you talking about Castle, maybe?
Castle. It's probably
Castle. 6'6". He was a freshman for Connecticut last year. And, they have him going to San Antonio at 4. And they have the Pistons taking Matas Bazulis from the G League, 6'8" forward. And Dalton Connect from Tennessee going to Charlotte.
That kid from Tennessee is outstanding.
I kind of like
him.
But check this out, guys. You got in this mock draft, it's just mock draft. 4 of the first 6 picks are foreign players.
Yeah.
I mean,
the state of basketball over here.
You would never see that.
Yeah, I see that. All from France.
Yeah, you would never see that.
No. But and that speaks to people scouting too. How how do you scout the globe? Do you have the resources to scout the globe? Do you wait for these tournaments or these scratchy videos? Because that's all you see of SARS and this other French guy, really scratchy video of how they played. You saw a little bit of what they played last year because everybody was looking at Wembanyama. So, but you didn't get it. You weren't really paying attention to those guys. You were paying attention to Victor, and he's been a guy in San Antonio.
Before we move on, we should talk a little bit about Charles Barkley. The season over, announcing his departure from TNT. And I wanted to play some of this with some of our younger viewers who
I was hoping you find that video because this is outstanding. Look at this against the Seattle Supersonics.
This guy it's a reason why he's a Hall of Fame player.
He's only 6'6", okay? And he was doing all of this against taller guys.
Yeah, he was. I mean, it's a reason.
Look at the size of him.
Yeah, he was heavy when he came in, and he got in great shape, and he was just tremendous. But even when he got a little heavier later in his career, he still played well, man. Bobby Jones for the Sixers. I think there's one on here where he gets a dunk over our buddy Paul Mokeski. I'm gonna have to show it.
I think it is
Behind the back.
I want to see that pass. He threw a behind the back pass of some length on one of these baskets.
Dr. J gets him with a behind the back pass on one of them. He was absolutely a locomotive.
Yeah.
But nobody got in his way. You see that, don't you?
Wow.
Chuck could do it.
This is him against. This is Auburn.
Otis Thorpe is 6'11".
Good pass.
Getting it back.
For his hustle.
In the back. Mm.
Yeah.
It's fun to go back and watch. And
This guy Maurice Cheeks was such a player.
Sure was.
Ewing didn't want no parts of that, so he stepped out the way. Behind the back again.
Right back to you.
Yeah.
See, when you play with Tim Tree, that extra pass Sadell Threet made, Tim would never make that pass, man. He would be like, I'm getting this bucket myself.
Yeah, I figured that. I figured that much.
Rick, you kill me. Killing me. Too much truth. Pass? What pass? He's look at that. Look at that block. He did some. Is that Xavier McDaniel?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Here's against the Rockets. Oh, I thought it was Rudy T, but he gets
more.
Well, he flips behind the back, the hard one. Nope.
No, I don't want no part of that one.
Watch out. That one.
The pass from the doctor.
There's the one you're talking about.
Oh, man. That was sweet.
Yeah. But then he transitions and becomes a certainly controversial commentator on sports and everything. I say he threatened to run for governor of Alabama a couple of times.
Right. I listened to him on an interview a couple of weeks ago on Sirius, and he was talking. The interviewer was right. There are a whole generation of people who only know him as a broadcaster.
Yeah.
They have no clue as to how great a basketball player that he was.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, that's the deal. And at the same time, he was continually in that interview ripping the TNT executives a new one for losing the NBA rights.
Yeah.
Pretty much saying, he's like, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be fine. He's talking about all the people over the past 20 some odd years, the relationships they cultivated in Atlanta at the TNT studios, and the people who are going to be out of work. And that's what he's more concerned about, their welfare and what they're going to do. And it's just another property taken out of Atlanta. All they have now, I think now, is just hockey that's out of here. And the NBA has other stuff that's in Atlanta, but they won't have that show. So
didn't he talk about moving that show under his own production company? Didn't he talk about that?
He did talk about
and
doing
maybe
that.
this changed his mind.
Well, he thought about doing that, but it's like this. And I don't blame Ernie. TNT made Ernie Johnson.
Right.
And he's not going to break a contract, and he's going to stay loyal and stay with TNT irrespective of what happens to the show.
Right.
As it is, we know however many nights that show is on TV next season, it is going to be the highest rated show that night because this is the last run for these guys.
Right.
People are going to tune in. It's that, you see the stuff they do at the pregame at the 7 o'clock, which is all fine and good in halftime. But if you stay up late enough, after that 10:30 game, the West Coast game, they get wide open on that show. And that's when Chuck shines the brightest and Shaq shines the brightest when that happens.
Yeah.
I was watching.
You know who gets I'm sorry, Tree, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I guess one of the other stations had the NBA Finals, and I tended to watch that, and I went, this is just awful. And I couldn't even watch.
ESPN is trying to approximate what they do in TNT, and it is straight garbage.
Yeah. As Chuck would say, it's terrible.
Terrible. It is terrible.
And when you say think about that. When you say terrible, everybody knows who you're talking about, right?
Exactly.
It's really bad. It's really bad. It's not funny.
There's
It's
no
not
mix.
insightful.
No,
It's nothing.
But you know, man, you gotta give some props to Ted Turner for making Atlanta a hub of the national sports scene. When you think about the Superstation,
yeah,
you could get the Hawks games, the Braves. People saw what he was doing, and they're like, "Yo, let's try this." And then he creates CNN.
I was an intern in CNN when it came out the ground, and
Wow.
TBS and CNN were just were in. There was this large antebellum mansion, is what Turner's broadcasting center was at the time.
Mhm.
Top floor was Georgia Championship Wrestling. Middle floor was TBS, where they had all those shows. Like watch a show called Tush, or remember
Oh, I
Jan
remember
Hooks
that.
from Designing Women, Designing Her. Jan
Mhm.
Hooks. She started. They were at a show called Tush in Atlanta, and they would tape theirs on the middle floor, and the bottom floor, the entire bottom floor, was CNN.
Where was
And
that building? I don't. Where was
it's
that?
the Techwood Drive. It's over there, not just up a stone's throw from Georgia Tech.
Okay,
And
that's what I thought. Okay, it was
as
kind
it
of
is-
in my old neighborhood.
oh, okay. As it is now, they built a campus around it. Oh, like the studios and stuff that TNT and everybody use now. They surround it. That mansion now is like a corporate office building, and everything else, the studios have been built around it. I just think about there's some nights I was doing sports. Ted Turner would come in there, showing his baby off. He would try to court athletes there. One night he brought in Dave Winfield, showing him around because he was trying to get Winfield to sign with the Braves. Another night he brought in Pete Rose, trying to get him to sign with the Braves, and neither one of them did. And then one night he brought in Rankin Smith, the former owner of the Falcons, and both of them, I would say that they were very happy, to say the least. I think they had a few libations, and they came in there because they were both good to go that night. But Ted was very proud of that. Proud of what CNN was doing. Those people there who cared a lot about what was going on. I mentioned like Don Sperling, the guy I mentioned earlier, who was a Willie Mays fan. He was a producer there in sports. The guy who used to run MSNBC, Rick Kaplan, also was a producer in sports there. Rick had he had a big curly fro. Now you see him now with this like bald head, and you think about it, back in the day.
But was Fred there at that time? Fred Hickman?
Oh yeah, there are many a night you see the back of my head. I would be behind Fred Hickman and Nick Charles because I wanted to get on television.
and I remember, when I would go there for games, CNN was at the Omni.
Right. They moved to the Omni. The CNN studios were in the Omni before they moved everything back to Techwood Drive. But yeah, where they were, there used to be an ice rink there, and they carpeted the ice rink over, and they used to do this show Sonya Live from that where the ice rink was, and the studios were next to the hotel. But this is the thing here, Rick. One night, the night before a Hawks Pistons game, watched the Pistons come into the hotel there at the Omni. Dude in a full-length mink coat, Kelly Tripucka. It was like you would think the brothers would be wearing the mink coats, but here's this white dude with a perm. It is the full-length mink coat walking into the hotel.
I used to skate. Oh, I used to try to skate in that ice rink.
Yes.
My friends and I, when we were in high school, we would leave school early. I'm not going to use, and we would go down and hang out at the Omni. And then they had at the top floor the World of Sid, Marty Croft, which I never understood.
Marty Croft.
Yeah, I don't know why that was there, but we would go ice skating, and I could not skate for nothing, and I still can't. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
I tried. That was a good spot. I was like, they were like, you don't want kids to be there, but you built things for kids to
yes.
be there.
I think I may have sent you guys that meme. You talk about Kelly Tripucka in a mink coat. That meme when the Lions were making a run to the Super Bowl, and the guy had the meme with all these about 4 brothers in mink coats, mink caps, all sitting on the sideline, and the meme said, "If the Lions, if the Lions make the Super Bowl, Las Vegas ain't gonna know what hit them."
Oh yeah.
Right?
Them brothers sitting up there with their mink coats and everything. Kelly was just trying to fit in.
But Texas remember doing that. He kept the Braves are going to be subtracted. They were so awful. They were going to be subtracted from baseball. They were going to lose the Braves. He managed them for one game, and Major League Baseball said,
I remember that.
Yeah, you can't do that.
I remember that. Hey, but props to Ted Turner, man, because he really started all of this. Was the formula for all of this we see now. Speaking of football, guys, believe it or not, it's around the corner. Training camp is about a month away for a lot of teams. The NFL, HBO is going to do something different this year with Hard Knocks, and they're going to do the whole AFC North. So that means they'll be in Cincinnati, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and
Baltimore. I think that's a great idea, a great concept, rather than having, one team panic and try to fake the funk the entire time. And I say that because for people who remember Hard Knocks when they did the Falcons, people were saying, yeah, Coach Smith is nothing like that. The players are saying, like, yeah, he didn't do all of that. It was a lot of theater, a lot of camera, a lot of reality show stuff. This way, it's not going to be concentrated on one team. You spread the phoniness around to 4 teams.
I was going to say, wait, it'd still be phony, but yeah.
Yeah, you spread it around.
But you know what? It must be a really successful series because this has been going on for quite a while now.
Yeah, I would say about 15 years at least. It's a matter of trying to get folks who want to do it. Nobody wants to do it, though.
Yeah, the teams never want to do it.
Which is why I think they came up with this concept, too, where it's not going to be onerous on just you guys. Just won't be your guys. You having to show your guys getting cut. We're going to show 4 teams guys getting cut. Or, these other storylines.
So are we not over reality shows? No.
I know I am.
Yeah.
There's some bad ones. There's some bad ones.
We actually have a reality show going on in real time in the WNBA. I mean,
yeah, I wasn't going to bring it up, but
every week. I mean, I've lost interest because of all the controversy between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and how they keep trying to pit them against each other. And I don't even want to watch now.
I missed Doris Burke's comment last night, but I read it today.
What was it?
She was like, now, when Porzingis got slammed, thrown to the ground, to the court last night, she said, had that been Caitlin Clark, we'd be having a debate about this for the next week.
Yep.
But it was not. It was just, they played on. There wasn't even a flagrant foul.
Right.
Yeah.
It takes place every
game.
And the women play a physical brand of basketball, more so than the men in a lot of instances.
Right.
And, but
and you see, it wasn't like she went out of her way. It's in the.
She's trying to make a block.
I don't think, did she hit her?
Yeah, she got it.
I want to see that again because she was to the side. Looked like she tried to mug her there on that one. Come on.
She's trying to get the block.
That's what Caitlin said.
And the thing about that, she's a shot blocker.
Yes, she is.
So that's a basketball play, but she says the controversy really started.
Yeah. Oh well, she kind of went low to get to the ball. She caught her.
The controversy really started after the game, where she said, "I guess some of us get a special whistle."
No, she said she gets a special whistle.
Well,
Caitlin gets a special whistle.
I guess she will learn in professional sports. A lot of people get special whistles. Michael Jordan got a special whistle. Dr. J got a special whistle. And apparently Caitlin Clark is getting a special whistle.
Will people move on to NFL then? Will they stop paying attention at some point, or her fans will keep watching her?
No, you know what? I actually watched that game. That's probably, now I've watched a full game before because I watched some with my daughter. But that was a very entertaining game. And Caitlin Clark actually played probably her best game. The brand of WNBA basketball is catching on. I think they may be finding a market now.
Oh, yeah.
And it was packed there too, guys. I think they had 17,000 at that game.
I know something else has happened. They had some sort of like Challenge Cup tournament that was supposed to happen in a smaller arena. Now they're moving it to a larger arena, just like they do here in Atlanta. They were going to play the Fever. We're going to play in the smaller arena out in College Park. Now they're moving into the where the Hawks play in State Farm. They're going to sell tickets. They're going to maximize this. She is she's marketable for sure. But there's one announcer out there, or some pundit said that Caitlin Clark is the Jackie Robinson of the WNBA.
That's stupid.
I'm going, there were other white women in the league before Caitlin Clark.
Dude, I mean,
really? She's the Jackie Robinson?
What an idiot. I mean,
I can't. I got nothing.
that's just,
that hurt. Just think about this. This like they're really struggling to come up with ways to insult people.
yeah,
Insult their intelligence.
That's not a struggle. They're
Yeah.
just doing it. Just doing it.
that is so.
Doing it poorly.
Any final thoughts, guys, before we get out of here?
Oh, I wanted to hit the Nepo baby thing before we left up out of here. That's awesome.
Hit the what, Tim?
Nepo baby,
Nepo
nepotism.
babies. Top 5 Nepo babies of 2024. These guys are
some babies.
no, it's just the
Nepotism.
NBA draft is coming up. The NBA draft coming up next week, and everybody's trying to foist what's the boy's name? Bronny James. As if he's like really good, and I haven't seen where he's really good yet. I don't think it's fair. But they mentioned 5 people who are pretty much, I guess you're saying, they are only out there because of their dad. So number 1 they put up there is Bronny James. They did this in honor of Father's Day, by the way. This number 2 guy was Jock Collinsworth. If you saw him on NBC and you saw him on he did Notre Dame. He was like the lead announcer for Notre Dame football last year. He is not the lead announcer this year because he's really not very good at what he does. And his dad is Chris Collinsworth, and and that's the reason he pretty much has gotten into this. And he got a lot of assignments, and I think he's probably going to work the Olympics this year, which really is killing me. Joe Buck once said the best way to get a start in broadcasting is to have a famous father.
So no need to go to broadcasting or journalism degree. You just be born.
Have a famous dad, because you got Jock Collins, you got his dad. The number 3 guy on this list is Noah Eagle, who is the son of Iron Eagle, who is a really great announcer. Iron is, and Noah is so whatever. And similar to that, they said the number 4 guy is Austin Rivers, Doc's kid. You know, they're pretty much saying that he's just sticking around because of dad, and that's crazy because Austin has a little bit of talent.
I was gonna say, isn't he pretty good though?
He's okay, but he's not. You know, he's not Doc.
He's an NBA player.
Yeah,
maybe he can grow into it, as you say.
And I don't think but I think he's been in the league like about 5 or 6 years. When are you gonna start growing? Stop growing.
Moving on. And then number 5.
Number 5, Shadur Sanders.
I don't get this one at all.
Pardon me?
I don't get this one.
why you think he has talent though, but they're saying that
Absolutely.
they wouldn't say that. They're saying that his dad has something to do with it. Probably so. It's probably genetics. Yes,
Yeah,
his dad has something to do with it.
you're
But
right.
You got a
but
dad growing up teaching you how to play. Yeah.
yeah, right. So the people would dog that. I thought that was a stretch. The other ones I really could see.
Yeah,
But that was a real stretch because Shadur played his butt off that opening game against who did they play? TCU. Oh, he was outstanding. And then
And the dude
they
was
played
tough,
Nebraska.
man. He
Oh, he's
took
super
a
tough
deep
now.
ass.
I mean, his daddy hates him because he put that offensive line in front of him. It was child abuse all season. It was. I think he sat out the game with some broken ribs at one point. So something to that effect,
Yeah.
though.
But he showed me a lot, man, playing through all that.
Oh, yeah.
I imagine it's like you're a dad and your kid comes back. Hey, I'm hurt. Just get back out there. Put some dirt on it. Get back out there.
He said, rub some dirt on it. Rub some dirt on it.
Put some dirt on it. Keep moving. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I tell you what, though, guys, I'm excited to see how some of these young quarterbacks are going to pan out. I like the guy, Michael Penix, Tim. You know, everybody's mad about where they took him. Hey, but if he can play, you remember everybody were on the Lions for taking Jahmyr Gibbs. Oh, he's a running back at 12. Yeah, he's pretty good too, man.
Oh, man. I thought that was outstanding. You getting Gibbs? He was one of my roto running backs. I got him but John Robinson. And the Falcons didn't use Robinson right at all. So,
you hadn't done a draft yet, have you?
No, that was this last year. Those are my running backs.
Okay.
And I learned my lesson trying to pick superstars. I picked the guy from Indianapolis the year before, and he stayed hurt for all season. So
Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah. So I learned my lesson. I'm going with fresh legs, young people.
Yeah.
You know what lesson you should also go with? You should observe the players as they come through their tunnels and look at their fashions. You might get some fashion tips. Yes.
Yeah, we got to get that.
We got to get some tunnels up there going up in there because I was looking at Jaylen Brown coming to the arena yesterday, and he looked like a biker. He had his leather jackets and these leather pants and these black gloves, and looked like he was about to go, start a bar fight. But he was
looking fabulous while wearing it too, right?
Yep, absolutely. He gets in there, and then he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to start a bar fight on the Dallas Mavericks." Is what he did. He went in there and took those pants out. They have some really interesting fashion,
and the ladies too, the WNBA as well.
Oh
my God! Did you guys see the woman who had the whole suit that was like? Oh, I got to send it to you. It was like all Black women hair photos all over her entire suit. Did I not send you that?
No.
Oh, I will send it to you. You got. Her outfit were pictures of Black women in different hairstyles, but it looked like something that might have been like in the 70s or 80s. The whole entire outfit was just images of Black hairstyles. It was something else.
That's good.
There you go. There it is.
Wow.
On the left, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to blow it up here. Yeah, I can't blow it up.
That was creative. Her stylist was like.
I'm trying to see who this is. Sydney Colson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sydney Colson, Ray Burrell. That's draft night, Caitlin Carter.
But that outfit right there, I'd never seen anything like it. Would I wear it? Probably not. I don't know. Maybe the jacket.
You think the pants are a bit much?
I don't know. It's awesome.
This is
You could blow it up. You could really see the detail of it.
What we need to do is probably just bring all fashion back next week and start off with fashion.
Please
really
do.
Who is this? Sadarno?
Yeah, I thought I sent it to you. Maybe I sent it to Tim.
No, I didn't get it.
Might have been on IG.
Okay.
Oh no, it was
Well,
awesome.
we're going to get out of here. Once again, though, I mean, the story of the night, we'll be talking about it. We lost
Mhm.
legend Willie Mays.
I think so, for sure. Be a
Yeah,
lot of coverage on that and then leading up to the game.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That should be the lead story of most major newscasts in the morning. When I turn on the MSNBC in the morning, CNN, if Willie's story is not top 2 or 3, somebody needs a new editor,
Yes.
right? Barring
Yes.
a,
It's
of course, it's some type of catastrophe.
Yeah.
God, that
At least
that's
be the intro part where they'll talk about it. It might not be the top story, but it should be.
yeah,
But you know what? We'll see what happens.
yeah.
We'll see.
Well, we will get out of here for Tim Turner and Tree McDougal. I'm Rick Hampton.
All
Uh,
right.
Very good conversation. Enjoyed this, guys.
It
See
was
you next
great. All right. Be kind, everybody.